Here I is. Hey y'all. Oh, my brother Theo checking in. What's up, Theo? He says had time. So ooh. Um, how them Bulldogs doing against them Canes? Just had to go close the door. I got a lot of show, man. I got a lot of show. We are going to do a countdown for 2026 by hollering at you about the best of 2025. That's going to include my, not yours, my top 5 Marvel Legends of 2025. And when I say my top 5 Marvel Legends of 2025, my bad. You're right. It is Ole Miss. Hope y'all beat the daylights out of them. I hope. Some folks been getting drugged today, man. Shoot. Look at how Patrick Mahomes' old team got done. Goodness, they didn't even score. But anyway, my top 5 Marvel Legends. My top 5 Marvel Legends might vary from your top 5 Marvel Legends. And they the top 5 Marvel Legends I got in 2025. They may not have been released in 2025, but I got them in 2025. So there, my top of 2025. My top DC Multiverse action figure from 2025. Again, I may not have, they may not be 2025 figures. I got them in 2025. So them's my favorite 2025. I am also going to do a favorite Black Panther moments of 2025. Videos from me. Some stuff I did in 2025 with regard to Black Panther. There was a lot of it. It was hard to narrow it down, but we got around to it. Also, if a Black actor voices a character, does that make that character Black? I know that sounds like a silly ass question, but you be shocked how many people I see just today that I've seen talking about just because a character is voiced, well, we make them ours. Okay. Kind of like how European people made the United States theirs, just kind of took it and appropriated it from the indigenous people. Just because you can make it yours doesn't mean you should make it yours. All right? Think about it. And while I'm on the subject, what qualifies a Black superhero to be considered the Black superhero that represents us, or one of the 4 that represents us on a Mount Rushmore? Because I hear people talking about it all the time. I'm gonna put this cat, and this cat on there. But I understand. I understand that. Hey, what's up, Anansi? I like to acknowledge people in the room. Thank you for pulling up tonight, because I got a doozy for y'all. Okay. Black Panther. We know Black Panther is going to be on a Mount Rushmore of Black superheroes. But why? Most people say Storm. Most people say Blade. Most people say Luke Cage. And then there is that one demographic that says Spawn. Now, I love Spawn. Me and Kamoyo was talking today, and he was cleaning up and showing, oh, I got this comic, that comic, and I'm like, oh, okay, that's dope. I like that. Oh yeah, I remember that, the 90s. And he pulled out his Spawn, and he's like, I got about, what, I think he said 30 or something, and I told him I got the first 100. issues of Spawn. But my point being, we all know Al Simmons is a black man. Now, if I was making a Mount Rushmore of Image comic characters, no doubt. But every black character don't need to be on the black Mount Rushmore. But we're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about that tonight. Also, Blaster, Controller, Scrapper, Tank, or High Tech. Now, I understand there are many superheroes who are a combination of this archetype. There are, so Blaster, I'm just giving off energy. I'm blasting. I'm shooting. That's a blaster. Okay. Controller, that's someone that has an ability that they can use to control other people or other things, like telekinesis, mind control, possession, or manipulation of an element like fire, manipulation of a fundamental force like magnetism or gravity. That's a controller. Basically, somebody who can F you up and don't have to touch you. That's a controller. Okay. Then we got scrappers, just like the name says. Scrapper. Your primary skill is you are nice with your hands and or a specialized weapon. That's a scrapper in a nutshell. And then we got the tanks. We all know the tanks. They're them the ones who can stand in front of a blast and take a whole lot of damage and can dispense a lot of damage as well. That's your Supermans, that's your Shazams, that's your Hulks, that's your Thors. You know what I'm saying? Those kind of characters that, you know what I'm saying? Invulnerability to whatever degree got to be a part of the power set, because they can take, you know what I'm saying, a little more damage than your average cat. And then there's high tech. High tech can simply mean something as simple as Spider-Man's web shooter to Iron Man's armor. They're all tech of varying levels. Now, as I said before, a lot of these characters overlap. There are superheroes who are blaster controllers. There are superheroes who are scrapper blasters. There are superheroes who are high-tech tanks and controllers. So you get what I'm getting at? So what I was trying to let you, which one, if you gotta go exclusively with one class and one class only, which one is that gonna be? And a happy merry new one to you too, Mr. Paul Martin. Glad you could join us this evening. Hello and welcome. We're going to be diving into some stuff here in a second. If you were an Alaskan superhero, what race would you be? Or would it matter? Because up until, what was it, 2018, when they came out with the indigenous teenage superhero Snow Guard, and her primary power was shape-shifting into animals. Isn't that what Snowbird does? If I'm going to have an Alaskan superhero, I'm gonna do something different, because the indigenous peoples of Alaska and Canada, I feel like, haven't been depicted in the ways that they deserve to be depicted in comics. But we ain't gonna worry about that too much. We just want to know what race you think an Alaskan superhero should be, because up until a certain period of time, fucking Cyclops, Cyclops was the Alaskan superhero. Because if you go to the official handbook of the Marvel Universe and it says place of birth for Scott Summers, Anchorage, Alaska. But he immediately left and went somewhere else, like a lot of Alaskan people end up doing. Ronnie J is in the building. What's up, my dude? Ain't nothing to it but to do it, dog. I guess we'll save the top legends and DCs. We'll do that last, because I know everybody gonna get a big kick out of that. But let's also, is Black Panther an A-list, B-list, or C-list character? I know we done had this conversation before, but for me, it keeps coming up in my journey, okay? Because today I was talking to a guy and I said, hey, do you know who the Black Panther is, B? And he said, no. Who is that? Okay, I understand that could be an ice. You know what? Let's jump on right there. Let's jump on tonight. That's where we getting on. That's where we getting on at. Is the Black Panther an A-list character? So, in order for us to, I feel like, in order for us to determine that, might as well get Gemini to work. Is Black Panther an A-list character? Okay. You know what? Let's do this. What constitutes it first? What constitutes it first? What makes a character A-list? Oh, Jay, what's going on? What's going on? What's going on? How you doing, sir? Glad you could make it. Okay. So, okay. Now, you know what, Paul Martin? I can 150% agree. Okay. And this is why I say it. There is one thing and one thing only, and y'all know what I'm getting ready to say, that keeps in for me, and I love the Black Panther. The only thing that keeps him from being A-list for me, a consistent monthly magazine. That's it. For me, that's the only thing it can be that keeps him from being A-list. Because any A-list check off you got, the Black Panther checks off every single one of them except consistent recurring monthly comic? No. And to me, that's the only thing that keeps him from being A-list. Because when you say A-list, you go Superman, you go Spider-Man, you go Batman, you go Wonder Woman. You know what I'm saying? A-list is people or characters that are recognized by people who don't read comics, ain't never read comics, and probably never will read comics. That's A-list. Now, if somebody at Marvel, hey, CB Cebulski, decides purposefully to say, I want a Black Panther comic book to run for at least 100 issues, and I don't give a damn how y'all do it. Make it happen. Certainly, Marvel could do that easily. But would Marvel do that? Okay, because I see right here, Kamalio saying T'Challa is B-list on purpose. That is a statement that I can also agree with, because they have the power to be. They have everything, the character, the backstory, the supporting cast, got all that. But you choose not to give that character a consistent monthly comic. Ain't happened in the history of the character. And I know I've been talking about it a lot this week. It ain't happened. Now, I'm talking exclusively about the Black Panther. Why is the Black Panther not A-list? Been around almost 60 years. Longevity? Hell yeah. Representation? Check. Supporting cast? Uniqueness? Hell yeah. Consistent monthly magazine. Okay. Now, please understand that my rationale is not coming from a place of trying to deride, disrespect, or make little of the character. That's not where this is coming from. This is coming from observation. At least a good 40 years of it. Oh, you can show up in my magazine. We're keeping you prominent. We're letting people know, hey, there is a character called the Black Panther, and we want you to know that. But beyond developing it and growing it, because it seems like with every iteration of the character, it doesn't change. If you keep giving me king on a throne, 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 what else does he do when he in his spirit, when he's not running around with the Avengers? He just goes back to Wakanda because that's all I'm concerned about is Wakanda. Wakanda is my business. I don't want to be involved in anything else. We're isolationists by nature. Okay, but now you got a whole empire. So can't do that anymore. There's no such thing as an isolationist empire. No, can't do that anymore. Okay, so since you have chosen to not be isolationist anymore, then you got to start getting in shit that ain't just Wakanda. I love Wakanda and I love the lore. And understand what I'm saying. Afrocentricity, Afrofuturism does not just have to come from Wakanda. Ooh. Why can't we explore something else? I mean, I like what Ta-Nehisi Coates was doing with the Orishas. Okay, can we explore something else that's Afrocentric? I'm just saying, these things bolster the overall mythos of the character. Versatility. And I'm not saying the character's not versatile. I'm saying make the character more versatile. You went from king to emperor. That's versatility. You basically said in Imperial, I could have took my throne back anytime I wanted to. Maybe I was a self-imposed exile. Because I could always come in and dissolve your parliament, dissolve your shit, and be right back on the throne like I did. Hello, it's me again. But the crux of what I'm saying is, will there ever be anything we can do to make the character? Just keep talking about him, just keep him prominent, just keep M Heroes and Marvel.com him to death until they like, man, these cats ain't giving up. They want their character in a monthly book. So I guess this is also just my way of saying, yeah, hit him up with that monthly book thing. Talk to me, because I know you want to talk to me. Paul Martin says, D, would you compare him to Sade? One of the baddest performers on the planet, yet rarely has music out. In that aspect, okay, yeah, that is a fair comparison. Does that mean there are no A-list black characters at Marvel or DC because they don't have consistent monthly books? Again, Anansi, that depends on what your set of criteria is for A-list. Could just be, I like him. He's A-list to me. But what makes a character A-list is that they constantly in your face. They constantly there. You constantly seeing them. And that usually comes in the form of your own book. How else will I constantly see a character? That's all I'm saying. How else do I get to see T'Challa consistently? In a book that doesn't have his name on it. That doesn't create consistency for T'Challa. That creates consistency for whatever book he's appearing in. And if that book ain't called The Black Panther or Tales of the Black Panther or Jungle Action or Agents of Wakanda or something to that effect, it's not adding to the Black Panther's clout, is all I'm saying. I ain't saying nothing should be took away from him, but I mean, all right, are there even enough black characters at Marvel to give me 10 A-list black characters? Is it? And I mean, when you say A-list, it don't be no arguments. It don't be no debate. It don't be nobody talking about, when we say Spider-Man, A-list, period. When we say Hulk, A-list, period. That's what I'm saying. And I sound excited when I'm saying it. I'm really not. I'm just passionate. I'm not like, yeah, mother. No. I mean, without even, there shouldn't even be an afterthought. When you say name A-list and you name and everybody go, oh, wait a minute, who? You know what I'm saying? There ain't no argument about it. There ain't no debate about it. There's no going back and forth. But what about? Well, how come? Why don't you? Okay, so does that mean there are no A-list black characters at Marvel or DC? DC? A-list black characters. It's hard over there. It's hard, period. I mean, recognizable and A-list aren't the same thing to me. Because it sounds like what y'all talking about is recognizable. I recognize a shit ton of black characters, but I'm saying of those shit ton of black characters that I recognize, how many of them are A-list? And what is your criteria for A-list? Is it the same as what comic book companies and comic book collectors and the layman in general calls A-list? A character can be powerful. Shit, Galactus is powerful as fuck. Galactus beats the shit out of most people. We know who he is. A-list bad guy? I would think so. But I know Galactus is not bad. He's not evil. Galactus is just Galactus. I know. But most supervillains don't get comic books. There may have once been a comic book called Lex Luthor. There may have once been a comic book called Doom 2099. Was it consistent though? See, the rules seem different for villains. Dr. Doom ain't never needed no comic book every month to be Dr. Doom. Magneto ain't never needed no comic book every month to be Magneto because they was always appearing in somebody's book. I don't know. It seemed like that standard's different for bad guys. It really is. A bad guy is only as good as the hero whose comic book he appears in. Fair, unfair assessment. And tell me why in the comments. Ronnie says, it pains me to say that T'Challa is not an A-list character because of the comics not giving him the respect he deserves, and killing him off in the MCU hurt his status also. Yeah. Paul Martin said, crazy that Cage has had a longer, consistent ongoing, but was in limbo for 6 years and is irrelevant in a live action version. Now, I don't say it to cast no shadow. As I always say when I'm saying anything, I'm just trying to bring attention to that's a fact. How is that not a fact? And don't get it twisted, the Black Panther's getting there because the exposure is consistent because of controversy. We keep the Black Panther relevant in our posts and our links that we share and in articles that talk about the things that we talk about when we get together and talk. So I don't know if it took the Superman fan club back in 1939 having to bitch and complain to get a comic book called Superman. But they did get a comic book called Superman. And that comic book, once they started producing it, they never stopped. Except maybe during the 50s, when you had those hearings going on, and they was talking about comic books rot the brain and all that type of shit. But for the most part, I give it the mother test. If my mother could have said, yeah, I know who that is, that's an A-list character. Mama, you know who Superman is? Yeah, I know who Superman is what she used to say to me. Mama, you know who Spider-Man is? Yeah, I know who Spider-Man is. Mama, you know who the Black Panther is? You talking about Huey Newton? All I'm saying, I want that character right there to be as common as everyday occurring as a Superman, as a Spider-Man. There's only so much we can do to make that happen. The rest of it is up to the creators and writers and editors that control his destiny. Because let's just be realistic. That's who controls his destiny. If the editors say, I don't want to see another Black Panther comic book for like 2 years, guess what? That's why you can choose to not fuck with certain companies. Let us see what Mr. President has to add. They have been trying to erase T'Challa since before that movie. Then the movie did numbers and they were stuck. Now they try various ways to keep him out of the way, like Blue Marvel. Exactly. Just saw a new crop of Black Panther tees at Old Navy a few weeks ago. I think it's the pose from Jungle Action #8. Let me see what the heck you're talking about. Boom. I already have that. I already have a t-shirt with an image of Jungle Action #8 on it. Nice. Good. It's what we want. It's what we want to see. That's what we need to see. Ye Bombay indeed. Seems like the editors say one thing about those characters and do another. I 100,000% agree, bro. They do. They tell you, oh, there's more wonderful this and that. Oh, that shit we wrote to Marvel during Eve Ewing's run. Some of us a couple times. And they canceled that bitch. I mean, not Eve Ewing, the comic book. No, Eve by no means is no at all. Love and respect to Eve Ewing. But I'm saying they canceled it. You see what I'm saying? You saying that there wasn't nobody that likes them? You saying there wasn't nobody responding? Yeah, we responded. We got together amongst ourselves and said, hey, y'all, let's respond to this shit. So folks know we like the Black Panther. We like Eve Ewing's run. We like what she's doing with the book. And we would like to see more of that shit. But nah. How do you take a book that was doing well and just go, I'm done with it? That, ladies and gentlemen, is why Black Panther is not A-list. Just like Kamoyo said earlier in his comment, because it's done on fucking purpose. Excuse my language. But that's why. Because they know it's a fantastic concept because there ain't nothing else in the Marvel universe like the Black Panther or Wakanda and the stuff that comes out of it. They supply half your universe with stuff, with vibranium to do things with. But yet and still, it's not popular. Just not popular. Yeah, it is. Y'all just don't want it to be popular. So you downplay it. That's all that is. I mean, That's how I see it. And until CB Zabulski and his ilk show me different, that is what I will continue to believe. I'll believe you don't want the Black Panther to rise and grow, which would make you money, which ironically is stupid. You don't like money? You don't like getting paid? I get paid whether the Black Panther's successful or not. But wouldn't you get something extra on the side if you made him more popular? Just a thought. I don't know. Paul Martin say, D, when you were growing up in KC, who was the favorite Black superhero among blurs you knew? Luke Cage and Black Lightning. Period. Luke Cage and Black Lightning. You had Black Panther. You had that Jungle Action run. Yes, yes, yes. I want to see more of this shit. Yes, yes. Canceled it. Just as it was building momentum. Just as, because I was at that rack spinning that mug to find Jungle Action. Where's it at? Where's that shit at? Where's it at? I want that. What was it? Issue 24, 25, something like that. That was done. And it was issue 6. Yeah, issue 6 through 24 of Jungle Action was Panther's Rage. And when Panther's Rage was over, so was the Black Panther's run in Jungle Action. But then Jack Kirby said, you know what? Let me do a Black Panther comic. So yeah, he gave us some nice stuff. However, 15 issues. And Jack Kirby didn't even do all 15 issues. Oh, let's finish this storyline, but we're going to finish it over in Marvel Premiere. I got a theory about that, but I'm going to keep my mouth shut for now. For now. Marvel didn't have any books in the top 10 for a reason. They can keep playing with us if they want. If they don't want money, I will keep it in my pocket. Period. I told y'all a long time ago. I can count the Marvel comics I've collected since January. Okay. And I can tell you the only thing I collect with any consistency is Ultimate Black Panther, and they about to end that. Ooh. And Jed McKay's run on Avengers ends in March. And I hear it's going to be a roster change. T'Challa's still going to be there? Because right now, that's the only place you consistently get him. Ain't that a... Let me shut up. That 60th anniversary special is a trash concept. That's a 60th anniversary salute to nothing, in my opinion. I mean, it ain't really saluting nothing. If it's the Black Panthers comic, that's who the hell it should be about. Not a bunch of other mugs. That's your 60th anniversary idea. Drivel. And I'm telling you, if it's some stuff I don't like, I ain't really fooling with it like that. Case in point. Did Black Panther show up in One World Under Doom? I'm gonna be honest with you, Theo. I bought that first issue and I was done with it. Y'all know I don't F with Marvel like that. I don't give a damn who took over the universe. Yeah, it'll go back to like it was eventually. I don't need to know about that. It's a whole bunch of big events that I was like, I ain't taking no part in that shit. because it's just an attempt to sell your bogus ass comics. You did better in the Bronze Age. You did better at the beginning of the modern age. That's the Marvel I fool with. Rest of that, yeah. Paul Martin said, my first exposure to Black Panther was the Avengers repeats in Marvel Triple Action, I think. My first exposure to the Black Panther was in an Avengers comic book, but it was during the Steve Englehart run on Avengers. That's when you got the Avengers Defenders War, them fighting Zodiac, the introduction of Thanos, all of that. And there was a story in Avengers, I want to say it was like issue 125 or 126, something like that, where they were fighting Claw and Solar. And Black Panther kind of got the shine in that book. And I'm like, who's that cat? You know what I'm saying? And then, come to find out, he's black. He's not just black in name. He's black too. Oh, now we got Luke Cage, Jon Stewart, the Falcon, and the Black Panther. You know what I'm saying? So that was my introduction, Paul. That was my introduction. Was through the Avengers run of the 70s. Theo asks, when you look at comic reviewers, they aren't even reviewing current Marvel comics like that. Because they're swizzle. You know what I'm saying? Nowadays, some comic writers, I'm not going to say all, think that the way to get people to buy comics is by hitting them off with consistent company-wide events. How many company-wide events have there been in Marvel just this year alone? I remember when the crossover company-wide event was a rarity. The original Marvel Superheroes Secret Wars was a 12-issue maxi series that ran over the course of a year from July to June, I want to say, something like that. And it was the number one selling comic every month for a fucking year. Go look it up. You know why? Because they didn't have company-wide events. January, March, June, September, October. You just got... When y'all gonna write stories, just write me a freaking story. That's what I would like to get from you. Write me a good story. It ain't gotta involve the Eternals and the X-Men and the fans. It ain't gotta involve. Just write me a nice street level story. Write me one of them mid-level stories. Everything ain't got to be cosmic and universal and multiversal to get people to read it. You don't think people are getting tired of that? How many times y'all gonna reshape the fucking universe? It's getting old. What can you do after you done saved the entire universe 177 times? How do you top that? See, writers think, at least a lot of the current writers think, go bigger, go bigger, go bigger, go bigger. No, you top it with good ass writing. Good writing does not necessarily mean a company-wide event. Good writing just means you know how to write and you do it well. And it doesn't have to be a cosmic level story. It doesn't even have to be a team on team story. If Dwayne McDuffie were still around, he could tell you what I'm talking about. Rest in power, D. So he missed Axe and One World Under Doom. Wow, just Blood Hunt, huh? Yep. 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 I got a couple issues of AXE, but you know what I'm saying? To me, again, didn't we just get done with one? That's where I was. Didn't we just, why in the fuck do we keep having these companies? Why? Why can't you just tell a damn story? Keep it right there. You know what I'm saying? And Marvel and DC went Godzilla crazy. I'm like, man, if I didn't love Godzilla so much, yo, stop already. Shit. You know what I'm saying? Stop it. Okay, I get it. Godzilla's fucking everybody up. Got it. Check. Can y'all chill now? And that ain't just Marvel and DC. Everybody doing Godzilla. So it's like, if you like Godzilla, I mean, if Godzilla is everything to you, you should be over the moon. Just spamming trade paperbacks, basically. I don't even understand how T'Challa did not get a One World Under Doom tie-in series. See, I know what you're trying to say, Ronnie. Tie-in series, especially knowing that Dr. Doom is also a villain of T'Challa. Dr. Doom's a villain of everybody. If you there for the villainy, Dr. Doom's there. If you ain't there for the villainy, Dr. Doom's there. The last two Marvel series that had me addicted were done by Ewings. Al's the Ultimates and E's the Black Panther. I like that. The new Marvel crossover event, Maximum Bull Dookie. Yeah, you ain't gotta sell me no crossover event to sell me no comics. And I guess that's the gist of it. And as far as it goes about like Black Panther being A-list, it's about exposure. And he ain't gonna get exposure unless the people that control the IP choose to do that. You saw we was telling them and they didn't want it. So, I mean, what else we gonna do? What else are we gonna do? Now, I have a question for all of you smart people out there. And the question is this: does a Black actor voicing a character make that character Black? And think about it before you answer. Okay, Paul Martin says he thinks that a Black Panther Batman crossover would make ridiculous money. I agree. But we, as a people, tend to co-opt. I agree with you. No. Hell no. Let's do this. I was online today. And somebody said this guy is black simply because Keith David voices the character. My response was, and see, they thought they was going to push me into a corner, but this is how I get down. I said, are there black people in Scotland? And the person responded and said, why would you say that? Are you saying there can't be any black people in Scotland? So rather than clap back like, you dumb son of a bitch, that's not what I said. I said, oh, absolutely. There can be black people in Scotland, but there have only been black people in Scotland since about the 13th or 14th century. Goliath and his adventures took place over 500 years before then. See, don't fuck with me. I watch Gargoyles. And I know a little something about sociology and anthropology. I ain't no anthropologist, but I know some people that is anthropologists, so fuck off. Anyway, I agree, Kamoyo. He is a gargoyle. That's it. Case in point number 2. That is clearly not a black man. And for those of you wondering, that's Jet Black from Cowboy Bebop. Now, even though Netflix decided, fuck it, we gonna make Jet Black black. Because over the years, we have always been talking about, is Jet Black black? Jet Black sound black. Jet Black sound like somebody black. Because he's voiced by somebody black, you moron. Bo Billingsley voiced Jet Black and a few other anime characters if you got a good ear and know how to listen. Does that make the anime version of Jet Black black? Because Bo Billingsley voiced him? Nah. Jet Black is clearly a cyborg. Who is mostly Caucasian, European, not black. Much as we want to have him around, nah. Jet Black is not invited to the picnic. Bo Billingsley is invited to the picnic, but nah, Jet's not coming. Case in point number 3. Is that guy a black man? Hell no. It's in the name. Martian Manhunter. But yet and still, simply because the baritone voice of Carl Lumley voiced the Martian Manhunter, we said, yeah, we gonna adopt John Jones. And then on top of that, the live action version of Martian Manhunter was played by African American men in both iterations. But is the Martian Manhunter black? No. And Paul Martin brings up an excellent point. Is every character that the incomparable Cree Summers voiced black? I got one for your ass now. I got one for your ass now. I just thought about it. Mm-hmm. Yeah, we gonna put this shit to bed. Cause I'm tired of hearing these dumbass remarks in threads and people not understanding. Bruh, as much as you want it to be yours, damn it, it's not. So just deal with it. Okay, you got Cree Summers there, right? Okay. I say Cree Summers. Why do black people always put I unintentionally put an S on the end of her name? Her name is not Cree Summers. Her name is Cree Summer. But hey, I can honestly and truly say must be a black thing. So no, her name is not Cree Summers. It's Cree Summer. No, back. Case in point, back. Uh-huh. 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 Talk to me now. Talk to me now. Probably one of the greatest voice actors of our time, next to Cree Summer, is Phil Lamar. Phil Lamar is a black man who also voiced Jon Stewart, along with a bunch of other voices. Characters that were not black. That's Samurai Jack. I only know of one black samurai, and he ain't it. So, y'all, can we put this thing to rest about folks being black when they ain't black, simply because somebody black voices them? Ooh, I see y'all off in the comments. Hasn't Jean sometimes used a black civilian alias? Well, at the risk of being the a-hole in the room, Jean's primary power is shape shifting. I mean, that's not his primary power, but that's the power he's known for, shape shifting. So, by that same token, Mystique is black. So, if Mystique shapeshifts into a black woman, she's not a black woman. She shapeshifted into a black woman. If John Jones shapeshifts into a black man, he's not a black man. He shapeshifted into a black man. All right. Jet is racially ambiguous, but routinely voiced by black actors. He's racially ambiguous. Okay. Does that ambiguity include the fact that he does not have any Afrocentric features? Just saying. I mean, he can be as ambiguous as he wants, but I'm not mistaking him for no black man. Unless he, saying he got like 3% black blood in him or some shit like that. Hey, Grand Madam, I am so glad you could make it today, lovely. Now back. Okay, I give up. What Jar Jar Binks say? Might give up. Might give up. Oh, Ronnie say, I feel like we adopt these characters as black because of the people that voice them and lack of representation in some of these animes and cartoons that do not have black character in them already. I am hard pressed to argue with that point. But I can say that still don't make it okay, Ronnie. Theo had a live the other day where he was talking about whose responsibility is it to represent black. Understand something. When we say represent black, that don't mean appropriate it. Because don't we get pissed when the other people appropriate our shit? And if we don't get pissed about it, we sure don't keep our mouth shut about the appropriation now, do we? All I'm saying. You want to appropriate and take their characters as your own, fine. But no, I got me some stuff. I can change it up if I need to change it up. You see what I'm saying? Wimpston. Wimpston Duke. That's on the radio, the podcast or something like that. Yeah, I wasn't checking for it. Yep, John is an alien playing a black man. Period. And yes, sometimes he shapeshifts into a white man. So is he white? Is he black? Is he ambiguous? What you say? I saw what you did there. That was no typo. When did he do it? Oh, I got Ken that look like him. That's the one I know. Okay. All right, we are having fun tonight, and the time is just racing like Quicksilver. I've always wanted to say that. All right, ladies and gentlemen, if you were a superhero indigenous to Alaska, well, not necessarily indigenous, but let's just do it like this. If you were creating an Alaskan superhero, what kind of powers would you give them? See, me, I can tell you off top. As a black man, if I'm creating a character in Alaska, he gonna have some kind of fire powers. He gonna have some kind of microwave powers. He gonna have some kind of energy powers. I don't want to be prototypical and go lightning, but because I feel like if I'm gonna be in Alaska, man, I got to be warm. And it's -4 right now. We don't go out into that if we don't have to. And I sure ain't gonna be patrolling no damn city for crime. Just that cold. It's that cold outside. The criminals ain't even out. Let's just Mr. Freeze or Icicle or, you know what I'm saying, Blizzard, somebody like that. Other than that, I gotta have me some heat powers, dog. Straight up. I ain't gonna be in Alaska. Oh, you're Snow Guard and you can shapeshift. I mean, that's cool. It's cool power. But what makes people think Alaskan superheroes need to be shapeshifters? I mean, it's like I said, it's cool power, but I'm just saying. Wow. When I was young, I used to think Soupy Sales was trying to sound black. Always got a WTF from me. Okay. Oh, is that my superhero name? Come on, yo, hot chocolate. Or are you saying I'm gonna be on patrol with some hot chocolate? I would much rather, if I gotta do that, I would much rather be on patrol with some tea or some soup or a thermos of black coffee. Then I'm like, ooh, I gotta burn somebody. Ooh, I gotta beat somebody up. Ooh, you know what I'm saying? Wired off of caffeine. Maybe some super speed powers. Dang, but if you slip on the ice, you're gonna slide for 150 yards. Oh, that is such a thoughtful power, Grand Madam. My Alaskan superheroine would have volcano power and could create glaciers. Lord knows we need them, Queen, because they have been receding in the past couple of years. It's not as scenic and beautiful as it used to be. So, fuck y'all. Why y'all messing with my self-stirring mug? Quit hating. Nancy said instead of a shield, I'ma have a self-stirring mug. Y'all ain't shit. Or a pipe. I'll let the algorithm work that one out. Okay. You know what? I didn't want to dwell too much on that anyway. I just wanted to see if it was going to spark something out of y'all. If it was going to make y'all grin and cheese. And it did. All right. While I'm on that topic, blaster, controller, scrapper, tank, high tech. Okay. Now, earlier, I gave y'all a definition of what each one was. And I will be happy to run that down to you again. All right. Blaster. That is, I guess, the best form I can think of when we talk about I just read that shit. Come on, yo. Do you hear that sound? It's hot chocolate run. You playing, but I might write something up. See if I can get somebody to draw it. If I created an Alaskan superhero, I would want him to have powers that connect him to the world. Okay. Grand Madam, I got a really good name for your character. Ring of Fire. That's what your character should be called. Ring of Fire. Say somebody need to do a wellness check on Theo. Bulldogs is down by 3. What quarter is it, Paul? Because if it's almost over, I know he's gonna be upset. But so a blaster, the best example of a blaster I can give, the Human Torch. He literally projects flame at people. I mean, that's not all he does, but he essentially is a blaster. Frank Castle, another example of a blaster. A different type of blaster, but a blaster nonetheless. Controllers, just like I told y'all earlier, controllers are people who can F with you and don't have to touch you. That's your Jean Greys. That's your Gravitons. That's your Magnetos. That's your Professor X. That's your Sean Koymans. People that have powers that they don't have to reach out and touch you. And I guess that will probably include magic users as well. So that's a controller. Scrapper, just like the name implies, they either have a set of skills, nice with their hands. I'm about to sneeze. No, I'm not sick. No, I'm not sick. So that is what scrappers do. Tanks are your Supermans. Tanks are your Hulks. Tanks are your Thors. Tanks are your big guys that stand in front and take all of the damage and dispense a pretty fair amount of damage themselves. Invulnerability is probably something that's high up on the list. And then you got high tech. Now, understand what I mean when I say high tech. High tech is just something, a device or a weapon that you can't go in a store and buy or build unless you have a certain level of intellect, i.e., Spider-Man's web shooters, anti-metal claws, Iron Man's armor. Now, understand, most superheroes fall into more than one or all of these power sets. Case in point, Superman, at least 3 of those categories. But I'm just pointing out the individual classes to you. I'm not saying there's no such thing as a superhero who doesn't overlap in all of those categories. But if you were going to take one of those categories and have a power in one of those categories, what would it be? For me, I don't even have to think about it. I'm going controller. I'm going controller, period. I'm going to have a power where I can control or manipulate people, my environment, or both. And I ain't got to touch nobody. Oh, look at you thinking. Ring of Fire or Fire Ring or Volcano Ice. Volcano Ice. How about Baked Alaska? I actually played a video game where I made a character called Baked Alaska, and he had fire and ice powers. Well, it wasn't me. A friend of mine did, but we played a lot, and that was very prominent in my head. Ronnie said, my Alaska superheroes will have powers like the Avatar, being able to use the earthly elements around him. That's cool. Yeah, that's cool. But manipulating something like a fundamental force, I think Graviton and Magneto are probably 2 of the most powerful beings on Earth that don't have to touch you to hurt you. I'm not saying they are the most, but they are 2 of the most. So that's, yeah, I ain't even got to touch you. I ate your blood. You know what I mean? I can manipulate the iron in your blood. That's power right there. Paul Martin said, I agree. In our real world setting, controller makes more sense. I can't see a need for Hulk or Superman level strength unless there are Superman level threats. I mean, whoa. I get the field one. Hey, D-Real, would T'Challa be considered in the tank category? when we say tank, again, we're talking characters whose probably their stock in trade is, or one of their primary powers is a certain degree of invulnerability, meaning up to a certain level of damage, they cannot be harmed physically. With T'Challa, he's more of I didn't understand that. He's more of a high-tech character, and his technology can mimic these other abilities. So he's, if I had to put T'Challa firmly in a category, it'd have to be Scrapper. You know what I'm saying? Because his primary, shut up, girl. His primary power set is scrapping. Hands, claws. You know what I'm saying? So I would think he's more of a scrapper than a tank. Nah, he ain't in the front taking damage. Yeah, there. And the president of the Black Panther fan group says so. Tech and Scrapper. Silver Surfer is a blaster and tank. He doesn't have the hands to be a scrapper. If he did, watch out. I would say that the Silver Surfer is a blaster, a tank, and a controller. Because no, he doesn't have to lay hands on you to hurt you. And no, he doesn't even have to blast you to hurt you. Remember, Norrin Rad has control of the power cosmic, and he can alter things at the molecular level if he chooses to. So yeah, definitely. That's why, and that's what I'm saying. That's an example of how the powers overlap. But what I was asking y'all, which one would you want to be firmly in? Not a hybrid. Which one do you feel like you would be rocking with if you had a superpower? I am moving along tonight. Moving along, moving along, moving along. Okay, Black Voices, A-list, Alaskan. Oh, okay. One more before the top five. Unless somebody has, no, didn't nobody say nothing else. Okay. Question. You know it's gonna be one to make you think, right? Okay. Grand Matam wants to be a blaster. I never get to put anything in the chat. Ha! When Rhodey had the warware, he was all except controller. Controller for me. Magnetism or gravity. But man, Graviton he be handling people. He can put a force field around himself. He can make you heavy or make you light. Bruh. Fire gravatic blast. Bruh. I want to be, let me control some stuff. I'm fixed to be a whole problem out here. Ole Miss up 33-24. Y'all say a prayer for Theo. Burn some sage, something. My man gonna be in trouble. Question, y'all. Mount Rushmore of Black superheroes. I know I asked y'all this. And for the most part, everybody throws out pretty much the same 4 or 5 heroes. every time I ask. Now, here, ladies and gentlemen, is my question. Do all of those characters represent Black? It depends. Okay. Well, you know what I'm saying? Through the magic of the internet, we can make that happen for you. No problem at all. Because it always pops up. It constantly. Okay. All right. That there is a young person. But I'm going to save that one because I think that is interesting. I have never seen a Rushmore like that. I need people. Boy, it's a lot. I think it's a lot of young people, man. A lot of young people. Because I'm like, seriously? That's your Mount Rushmore? That's not a Mount Rushmore. Okay, that might be. Okay, let's do that. That's. I'm going to get them out here for y'all in a second. Just bear with me. Because I see a lot of different ones. And it's like, D-Bugs is. Did anybody ever think of that combo? Because there's a lot of combos, man. And depending on what characters you like, because ain't it choice driven? All right. I think I have enough for us to have a reasonable discussion. All right. All right. Yours may vary from the ones I'm going to put up. Let's see. Are they Heroes fans no or JW Public non-comic fans? Oh no, the conversations I've been having, they're in some are in comic-based threads and some are in Black comic-based threads. So yeah, we dealing with us, okay? So it ain't even Joe Public don't we the people I'm talking to are knowledgeable, and I use the word knowledgeable loosely to illustrate a point. I probably need to find this point. Nope. Okay, it ain't in that one. I'm gonna get it. I'm gonna get it. Don't say nothing. I'm gonna get it. Okay. Is it still out? Oh. I know I didn't. Anyway, you know what? We can work with this. Y'all. Okay. When you say Black Mount Rushmore, I'm gonna go with that one. Let's be honest. That is most likely what the average person is thinking. Okay? Whatever gives me a talk topic, Kamoyo. And that's what I'm doing. Yeah, the blurs who glaze all the non-black characters to the point of underrating black characters. They are knowledgeable of the black characters, but here, allow me to challenge you with a Black Mount Rushmore I saw recently. I can tell you right now, that is somebody under the age of 40. I guarantee you that is somebody under the age of 40 who and also too, it's age centric. Because here is yet another version of a Black Mount Rushmore superheroes. All black, all immediately recognizable. But now, I'm going to go ahead and ask the question that everybody's thinking, but don't want to say it. While Adam Brashear is indeed a very, very powerful black superhero, he don't need to be on nobody's Mount Rushmore of black superheroes. He needs to be replaced for freaking sure. This one right here, again, like I said, apparently whoever the heck made this one, it's age centric. And so does that matter? Because on the actual Mount Rushmore, we are saying out of all the presidents, those four are the most iconic, are the most easily recognizable. Thomas Jefferson, Teddy Roosevelt, Abraham Lincoln, and George Washington. They are all presidents that most people know who they are. Okay. Here comes the counterpoint. Everybody know who Black Lightning is. Everybody know who Static is. And they sure know who the Black Panther and Miles Morales are. So that could be somebody's Mount Rushmore of black superheroes. But I do not think this is a popular Black Mount Rushmore. This, I feel like, is a politically correct Mount Rushmore of black superheroes. Now, here's a question I'm gonna I'm gonna throw at y'all. Does Spawn belong on a Mount Rushmore of black superheroes? Al Simmons before he became a hellspawn, was indeed a black man. And that is where I kind of start to say, now, here's why I say that. For the most part, all of those characters lean into a portion of their blackness. They lean into it. I mean, they make it known, okay, I'm black. I don't think Adam Brashear does that as much as these other three. And I don't think Eric Brooks does it as much as those three. So somebody like Al Simmons, who don't do it at all. I mean, I never, and like I was telling Kamoya today, I collect the first 100 issues of Spawn. How is it he a black man, but other than us seeing him being a black man and seeing that his wife, who he loves so much and wants to be around, is a black one, he's black, but I feel like that has something to do with the fact that he is mainly written by Todd McFarlane. Todd McFarlane might know some black people. Todd McFarlane might have a black friend, but Todd McFarlane ain't black. Todd McFarlane could even have a black wife and some black kids. Todd McFarlane isn't black. So he isn't going to be able to transfer the black experience onto the paper like a black writer would, convincingly, or somebody who's a little more adept at translating that. Because, like I said, y'all know I love Todd McFarlane. I collect all the man's figures. I'm just saying, where's that at? You know what I mean? Where's that at? Now, again, do we think Spawn should be on a Mount Rushmore of black superheroes? Because the Mount Rushmore that sparked this was the Black Panther, Storm, Miles Morales, and Spawn. That was somebody's Mount Rushmore. What you want me to do? Kamoyo. What black writer would I put on a Spawn book besides Rodney Barnes? Well, our good friend Joe Illidge immediately leaps to mind. I would love to see his take on a Spawn book, or even doing a run in Spawn for a little while, which would also give him an opportunity to bring back a Bloodletter. See what I did for you, Joe? See what I did for you? Hey, man, you're welcome. Don't even trip. But yeah, get at Todd and be like, yo, Todd, let me holler at you for a second, bro. I believe I can inject some new life into your Spawn title. Yeah, he's the first one that comes to mind. Yeah. I would even be willing to give Shirley Eaton a shot at a Spawn book if that was something she wanted to do. I believe she could. Blood Hunt was decent. You know what I'm saying? So at least her, her little 3-part story arc, it showed me like, hey, she need more than just 3 issues. Y'all need to give her like a nice fat ass run. You know what I'm saying? Where like 20, 30 issues. I think she could spin a story like that. Because if you had me in 3 issues, like, ooh, that was deep as hell. If you give her like 17 more, what kind of story could she weave? So those are 2 right off the top of my head. And then you already said Rodney Barnes, because that's his stock and trade. You know what I'm saying? That's right up Rod's alley. So yeah, those are 3 off the top. Ronnie J says, yes, Spawn should be considered for Black superhero Mount Rushmore, especially if you are a fan of his. Is being a fan of a character criteria for them to be on Mount Rushmore? Popularity? Well, a fandom, if you got a large following of fans, and yeah, Spawn does. So what was Spawn's impact on the Black community specifically? Did Spawn have the same impact on the Black community as the Black Panther? Did Spawn have the same impact on the Black community as Luke Cage? Did Spawn have the same impact on the community as Black Lightning? Falcon, even. What was he, that kind of superhero, or was he just simply this supernatural being who happens to be Black? Actually, those 4 have all been involved in crazy money-making franchises in some form or fashion. Okay, that's cool, but are they Mount Rushmore material? That's what we're talking about here. Are they Mount Rushmore material? Okay. Hour and 37. Okay, I am making pretty good time. I think I can get through this. And we're going to have to save the Black Panther discussion. I feel like we've had enough discussion about the Black Panther for today. And we are just going to move on to top 5. McFarlane, DC Multiverse action figures. And then we're going to do the top 5 Marvel Legends. So, first up, for DC, I got an honorable mention. And now understand, these are figures that I enjoyed purchasing because of the visual appearance, something or other, or I just thought it was a dope figure. And I had to give an honorable mention to Damage. Damage's costume it screams prototypical superhero, but not. The color scheme, I think, more than anything else, is what draws me to Damage. Okay. And if you look real close at the contour of the costume, I don't know if you can see that. Hold your head up. Be proud. So that's my honorable mention. Now, let's get down to the top 5. Now, the top 5, kicking it off at number 5. Number number 5. Everybody talking about number 5. The platinum version of Deathstroke, the Terminator. I feel like Deathstroke should have his costume in the comics. I mean, them pirate boots, again, those are a little long. Arr, matey. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what the deal was with the Buccaneer boots, but in the 80s, you could just throw everything. And the 90s, you could just throw anything on the mud. But I like the costume. That's a dope costume. And he's got like a pouch that's got room for this big ass gun. So just the look of it. He should have that costume. He should rock this costume. That's a big ass belt buckle too, man. But he should rock this costume. I like this costume. Not to mention, you get a plethora of big ass guns with Slade. So again, thank you for making Slade accessible and accessorized. And so Slade, and also, you know, all DC Multiverse figures come with a card and a stand. And Slade happens to have extra hand because he's always handling guns, so he needs a gun hand. At number 4, surprise, pimpin' ass Lex Luthor from the Superman movie. And let me tell you why. Look at it. His suit wasn't purple in the movies, but that's pimp. If I could find a hat, I'd paint him black and make him a pimp named Slickback. But that is a nice version of Lex Luthor, almost as nice as the Lex Luthor power armor from the DC Multiverse line when Mattel had it. That was probably the best version of Lex Luthor we got. But that's a close second. And that looks like Nicholas Hoult. He was a good Lex Luthor. He's probably the best live action Luthor to me is him. And then Michael Rosenbaum on Smallville. Those are my 2 favorite Lex Luthors. I always felt like the cinematic Lex Luthors, the first 2 were hella corny. Gene Hackman, stop it. I mean, I guess he was going with like old school OG Lex Luthor, but I ain't like it, bro. I didn't like his Lex Luthor, and I damn sure didn't like Kevin Spacey's Lex Luthor. And that ain't even because of who Kevin Spacey is. Just I didn't like it. But the Lex Luthor is number 4. Number 3, I ain't even pulled him out the box. Purple, Mr. Terrific. Yeah, I said it. Purple, Mr. Terrific. Now, the only thing I don't like about these Mr. Terrifics, because there's a purple one, there's a black one, and there's a red one. He don't have the fair play on the jacket. Now, if I could get a stencil to fair play, I would put it on there. If I get like a purple stencil for this one and then a red stencil for the other one, I would put fair play on this junk myself. Yeah, I think I do it. At number 3, we getting close. Number 2. Did you say you didn't like Hackman? Sacrilege. No, just a better version came along. What about Jesse Eisenberg? That's why you put that LOL there. Because he's a damn joke. Number two. Yeah, that is number two. Number two. Batwing 2.0. Look at it. Look at it. Why is this your number two that you bought this year? Look at it. This shit is flying. Even though he's flying, it's still flying. That's a nice looking figure, y'all. And it looks big as I'm holding it in my hand. And I'm not going to finish that sentence. Pause. That was a pause moment, though. I mean, I ain't a big fan of pause, but that time, warranted. But yeah, that's my number two. That is my number two. So what do you think is my number one? He says so much pause. Don't be letting these young boys influence your mind. Don't be letting these YNs tell you how you should talk. You want to have a foot and mouth moment, you can have a foot and mouth moment. It's perfectly okay. Mistakes show willingness to grow when they are acknowledged as such. But if we keep pausing everything, then we don't acknowledge we err. We simply ridicule. I got another honorable mention, but I'm going to go ahead and save that one until the end. Grand Madam says it's the bat wings for me. Funny, my dear, that you should mention wings. Moyo know what it is. Moyo know what it is. This the one right here. Out of all the figures I bought this year. She is so beautiful. That's dope. It's dope bigger. Dope. Yeah, that's my number one this year. Till something can come and unhorse and unseat this one, she stands head and shoulders above the rest. Comes with a mace and a change of hands. I like this one so much that I went back and I got the platinum version too, cause I needed them both. And everybody, if you know me, you know wings and things is what I brings. So if it's a nice looking action figure and it's winged, 9 times out of 10, I'm scooping that junk. All right, y'all ready to go to the Marvel Legends now? Let's go to the Marvel Legends now. Oh, I forgot to show y'all my other honorable mention for DC. Now, Michael Keaton Batman from Batman Returns. You can see that, right? Okay. I'll pull Batman out. As I said in my video, if you are going to have a cinematic Batman, this is the one I urge you to pick up. And much like the Michael Keaton cinematic Batman, his head does not turn very much. So you actually You just like Batman in the movie. It don't move. And you can do all of the crazy bat poses with it and whatnot. It's got a change of hands. It's got a grappling hook. It's got a batarang. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, Michael Keaton, Batman, honorable mention. Like that, like you like it, because it is a likable figure. I like it. I think I'm saying like too much, but this is about things I like, so it's okay for me to say like a whole bunch, right? Fine. Okay, there we go. Michael Keaton going to bed. All righty. Dang it. Gotta keep that wire cape in place. All right. There you go. All right. On to the Marvel Legends. Ooh, I forgot one. Where did he go? Okay. We get to it in a second. I see it. We'll get to it in a second. All right. Top. I'm gonna go grab it. Yeah. Yeah. That Hawk girl's dope. I don't know why they haven't made a Hawk man like that. I really don't. Okay. All right. Got her now. Because I took her out the box. Number five, Marvel Legend, She-Hulk. Even though that's not the original head, I put that head on there. But that body is great. You know what I'm saying? As far as a She-Hulk goes, she could be. Do y'all remember Corey Everson? Do you remember Corey Everson? Corey Everson was a female bodybuilder, and that's who this She-Hulk reminds me of. It reminds me of Corey Everson. Corey Everson and Rachel McClish used to go at it a lot. And Corey Everson had the body like this. And Rachel McClish was the one who was trying to be a bodybuilder, but still try to have like a sleek, kind of sexy body. Nah, Corey used to blow her out all the time in competition. Because I know Mr. Pause was getting ready to go somewhere with those are women. I shouldn't have to pause it. He remembers Corey. She's very memorable. She was Miss Universe 2 times. I think she was Miss Universe 2 times, 3 times. And she was in that terrible Jean-Claude Van Damme movie where he played twins. The first time. Because I think he's had a couple movies where he played twins. Double Impact. That's the one that had Bolo in it. And Bolo picked up a big oil drum. I'm like, nah. I don't give a damn how strong Bolo is. Bolo's not picking that shit up. Is there a Savage She-Hulk figure? I have a gray one. Because with the clothes all tore, and they got a gray one like that. But moving on. Moving on to number 4. Now, this is a rather unconventional choice, but bear with me. X-Men 97, Cable. Why? Because I used to own the Toy Biz version of this character back in the day. And Cable, here, take a second. Look at Cable. Cable don't look like somebody who be effing around. He looked like somebody that's about to hurt your behind. Now, back to the 90s, bro. Is that gun big enough? I remember the gun that with the Toy Biz character, sometimes you would put the gun in his hand and the gun was so heavy, he'd fall over. So, yeah, I don't think they was thinking. I think they were just excited. Oh, we gonna get Cable this big ass gun. No, bro. Gotta make Cable look kind of kick ass. These shoulder pads kind of make it hard for him to, you know what I mean, handle his gun the way he need to handle it. The wild man of Borneo. No, Kamoyo, that's what I like about it. They don't got I don't know. I mean, he got pouches. I mean, if you look real close, those are supposed to be pouches, but they aren't as defined as they used to be. Shoot, them pouches is built into his part of his leg. And then he's got pouches. He got pouches. He got pouches. He just don't got 90s pouches. Also, he's got gunfire. So that alone makes Cable worthwhile. Cable looks very no nonsense. And he's also got his smaller gun. So he's like, and another. Well, now he's got a fist. So never mind. We ain't gonna fool around like that. Let's get this other gun hand into circulation. So I don't know why I'm posing. We just top driving. I can't help it. I can't help it. Do you put the gun in the hand before you put the hand on, or do you put the hand on and then put the gun in it? This, ladies and gentlemen, is easier to do. And let's give him the blast. Give him the blast. Two-fisted Cable, just like we like it back in the 90s. He number 4. Kind of reminds me of a Multiverse figure. And there you go. Cable. Humming coming at you. I like that game. I like that figure. I like that figure. Now, that was number 4. Hoo, y'all gonna hate me. Number 3. I like this. You say what you want to say. And Kamal, you'll be the first one to tell you. We like our likings. We liking some likings. Aren't we? Yeah, when Marvel Legends got teamed with Magic the Gathering and they came out with another Man Wolf, I'm like, yeah, I'm there. Because there's only been like one version of Man Wolf. Come on, man. That's the son of J. Jonah Jameson. My man can't get another action figure. So somebody must have heard it and said, they chomping at the bit for another Man Wolf. Are we going to give him another Man Wolf? I got an idea. We ain't just going to give him a Man Wolf. We're going to give him effing Star God. And the mouth closes. That's what I like about this one. It doesn't stay static. You ain't just got somebody growling for no reason, and that's what they're gonna be doing forever. That doesn't make sense. So thank you for closing his doggone mouth. Also, he comes with a quiver, and he's got arrows that you can fold and put in the quiver. But more than anything, he's got a sword. That's some fancy sword. And I'm going to go ahead and assume J. Jonah Jameson is left-handed. And I'm going to put it in this hand. I like it. It's a nice looking figure. And you know what? The colors go well together. And he's got a lovely bow to go along with his. And it's a solid bow, too. I don't know if you could tell just by looking at it. And I know Hawkeye and Yondu got similar bows, but this feels like it's got more heft to it, if that's even possible. These claw hands, they always want to be clawy. And boom, there you go, boys and girls. Your Star Guy. Nice looking figure. Okay. So I actually have the original Man-Wolf too. It was originally one of those Man-Wolves where it had like the little speaker on the back, and when you pressed a button on it, it howled. It ain't got that speaker on back of it no more. It's just an action figure now. But I like it because it's Man-Wolf and it's a Lycan. And Lycans go into the collection regardless. Maybe one day I'll do a video of all my Lycan characters. I think I have about seven or 8 of them. Anywho, that was number 3 of 2025 Marvel Legends. Now, I have a confession to make. Numbers 2 and 1 are the same character. Sort of. Now, y'all know I like things that have wings. And for a long time, y'all, this was my most favorite thing with wings. Number 2, the angel. The angel. Anansi asked me, could I use the Man-Wolf as the White Wolf? It's my universe. By jingle. Why couldn't I? I certainly could. But yeah, when I first saw this was coming out, I knew I was getting it. I knew I was getting it. And it looks like it has those same kind of wings as why it keep coming out? Oh, that's why. Got twist him Johnson there. He's got a wingspan too, y'all. Warren Worthington. The Angel. That's a beautiful figure, y'all. That's a beautiful, beautiful thing. The most beautifulest thing in this world is things with wings. Well, not really, but one of the most. He comes with a change of hands. He has open hands and he has closed-fisted hands. So that, in a nutshell, is your Warren Worthington classic angel. But now, a lot of people ask the question, for a while, they asked the question, hey, you know what would be just as cool, if not cooler, than an angel action figure with actual functioning wings and the whole schmear? My number one. Yep, y'all know what it is. X-Force Archangel. That man, this joint. This is the shiznit, son. He's got an extra head sculpt, extra set of hands, just like his classic angel. But I mean, come on, it's X-Force. They look so kick-ass, it ain't funny. I want to get all of them, but I don't like all of them. You know what I mean? But them outfits, bruh, they in there like swimwear. Okay, the thing about him is you got to put his ass there. You got to put these wings together. You ain't just going, They're like, nah, bruh. This finna be a project for yo. Not really. I last time I did them, I threw them together pretty fast. So, boom, bomb, boom. And I'll let y'all see him in all of his, I can do it like that. All of his put together glory. After I assemble the wings. Because the wings are the biggest part. Once you get the wings on, you as my mom say, you pissing in tall cotton. Why do old people come up with things like that? I will never know. Anywho, also comes with the flechettes that come off of his wings so he can paralyze people. It's going to be so dope when I put it on. Yeah. Uh-huh. That's right. That's right. Okay, and then we go. Bomb. And bomb. Different wings, but no less dope. Ladies and gentlemen, I gives you the number one Marvel Legend action figure of 2025 for your mans and them. The Archangel. This is the one that moved me this year, that made me say, okay, of all the wing things I bring into the home, this is the dopest one of them all. This one in Hawk Girl. So, yeah. What you think about that, my friends? Okay. I'm going to take the last comments. I guess we going to be done. Archangel does go hard. Which of your winged figures have the biggest wingspan? If it's not my Dungeons and Dragons dragon, it'd be one of these. Gargoyles have an amazing wingspan. And that is Xanatos in his armor. Yeah. Yeah. It's Dwarfing Archangel. So yeah, there you go. So big, I can't even get all the wing in there. There you go. Yeah. Xanatos is the biggest wingspan. So there you have it, gang. Top 5 Marvel Legends, top 5 DC Multiverse from 2025. What does 2026 hold? Stay tuned, and I will be bringing it to you. Yes, the gargoyle. Technically not the gargoyle, more like the bad guy in gargoyle armor. He said Thanatos. X. Xanatos. All right, y'all. Dang, it's over 2 hours. We've been rocking like that. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and call this baby to the end. Thank y'all for pulling up. Happy New Year to you. And come back, same real time, same real channel. Tomorrow night, me and Theo B, I think we will be. Yeah, me and Theo B will be right here giving you the Friday vibe. That is it from me, y'all. And I hope y'all will pull up and check me out tomorrow evening. Rock with me, nation. Y'all go hard. I love and appreciate y'all. That's it. Check me out. Check Theo out. Rock me, Nick. Check Grand Madam out. Check out everybody who rock with us because we rock with y'all. That's it, y'all. Your man Sideways.